Welcome back to BlackManProblems. I am Anthony Brown.
And I'm Kieran Callan.
And today with us we have...
Caroline Walker.
Caroline is the soft and sweet centre in our interracial Oreo.
Or the creamy, milky cream amongst the chocolatey, biscuity outer crunch. Just made that up just then.
Yeah.
Could you tell?
Yeah.
You could definitely tell. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about the best and worst first dates that we've ever had.
Dates that we've had that have been crap.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So since you are our guest, can you tell us what your worst date is, first of all?
I have to go first.
Yes.
Ah,
Ladies first.
pressure.
Guests
So you
first,
were
ladies
gentlemen.
first.
I've had a couple of bad dates. I'm going to try and remember like a standout one. I think there was a date that I didn't realise was a date.
Mm-hmm.
So I had...
I've had that.
I thought we were just friends. And evidently we weren't. And then, so we'd gone on a non-date just for drinks. And then...
Your eyes?
In my eyes, yeah.
It was non-date.
Like a non-date. And then got back to mine, and you know when you know someone's going to kiss you, and it was almost like it was happening in slow motion. So I swerved, and he ended up snogging my ear. Like that, yeah, and ended up massive snog on the ear.
But what did he do after that?
Well, it was a bit awkward, and then so I said, "Oh, text me when you get home," and he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Oh, I just like to make sure all my friends get home safely."
Oh my god, that was a second shot to the heart.
I was just like, I don't know
It was
why
like-
that came out.
It was like someone, you harpooned him first through the heart with the turning to the right or left. And then you shot him in the head with the, I like to make sure my friends get home safe.
I know, but I didn't even think about it like that. I just thought, shit, how can I rectify this so that he knows that we're just mates? And it came
But
out
the
like
thing
that.
is, guys always know that you've shoehorned this sentence in just to make sure you know they're mates. So it's like when a girl goes, yeah, so my boyfriend and I were going to... They're just telling you they have a boyfriend. They didn't need to shoehorn that kind of sentence.
Yeah, it's
That's how
like,
it comes
I'm
across.
taken, don't
I
try,
know, but
leave me alone.
I panicked. I was like, shit, that was misconstrued. I'll just whack something in.
You know that all the way home that he had that sentence repeated in his head.
Yeah.
I like to make sure my friends get home safe, friends get home safe, friends get home safe, safe, friends. Get
And then
home.
also as well, the moment when he tried to kiss you
Yeah.
and he sees you do this and stuff and you're squinting as he's pressed against your cheek.
Oh, I don't
That's
think I had
probably-
like a face of disgust, just more like, surprise. So just
Poor guy.
swerved.
I don't think I've ever had anything that bad, but like, let's just say I was on a date, and I kind of fell into that I fell into that category of that guy. Now you can tell me whether this was. I'm gonna tell you the story first. Anyway,
Okay.
so I met this girl, beautiful, blonde, looks Swedish, not too different from yourself. That Norwegian Dutch is it? Dutch.
That Nordic kind
Yeah,
of
she had
vibe.
that- So-
yeah.
Kind of felt like she was out of my league kind of girl. Like, so I put out all the stops. When you feel like you've got one that's like in the 9 to 10, 8 to 10 category, you got to pull out all the stops. I'd planned everything out. I'd been saying, yeah, let's meet up. Like, I'm going to take you out. So I planned everything. I was like calling promoters, can make sure we get in straight away. No fucking about, right? Yeah. Want a table sorted, drinks, lovely. Go to cocktails before that. So we go to the cocktail place. We're talking. We're getting on fine. Get a load of drinks, I'm paying for it. No, don't worry about that, babes. I've got a tab. Glass on. It comes with the drinks. I'm sorting it all out. I'm doing well here. We go on to the next place, and it's very plush West End type club. So we get in there, and they're like, "Oh yes, Mr. Brown, straight through." Don't worry about it, babe. You'll sort it.
Man about town, basically.
You go ahead, love. Things are going well. I'm feeling good. What you drinking? Long Island, lovely. You go put your coat down. I've got it back. So then, I'm at the bar now. I've got the drinks coming. Open my wallet and I'm like, fuck. I've left my card in the tab of that place. I'm not used to doing this shit. I'm not used to putting my card behind and getting it afterwards. It's not something
But
I
you
do.
were so desperate to impress her.
Yeah, I was
that
trying to
just
impress.
your brain
You know what I
just
mean?
wasn't
Went all the way
functioning.
back, got it, did all these things. Then on the date now, I noticed that she was saying a few things that weren't very date-like conversation.
Oh, okay.
Felt like she was pushing. I knew she liked me, but yeah, I felt like she was trying to friend zone me. Then another time she was trying to like reel me in.
Okay.
Now, I must say we'd met before and we had kissed at the end of a meeting. So
you knew it was on the card?
I knew it was on the card. So you kind of feel like
This would be like
Yeah,
a
this is
logical
romantic.
progression.
Yeah.
Right. Now, there's a lot of things that happen among this date that one day I will tell properly everything, because a lot of funny things happen. But what I will say is, at the end of the day, it went really well. We stayed up to very late in the early morning, like 7 a.m. Kissed goodbye, went off. Now,
Just a kiss.
yeah, just a kiss. See,
Okay.
I'm a gentleman. I'm not looking for anything more.
How
right?
much of a kiss though? Was this a sensual
Yeah,
kiss?
tongues were involved.
Oh,
It was
okay.
the French kind of French
Okay.
variety. So the next day,
So this was definitely not a mummy.
no, it
niece,
wasn't like a
little dog. No.
send
Okay.
to school kind of kiss. Wasn't one of them ones. So we meet up a couple of days later, and there were some funny things that happened on the date with losing the car and telling a few people at the table around. And I said, so me and X went on a date the other day, and I was saying this happened, and then she cuts in and went, it wasn't a date.
Oh shit.
In front of everybody. Yeah,
Oh.
I was like, what?
Aw.
How was that not a date? I was trying to think, and it was so bewildering to me that
so
she
weird.
just hadn't. Would you have classed that as a date? Does it
Yeah,
sound date
yeah,
like?
it sounds like a date. How
That's
you
exactly
described
what
it.
I thought anyway, and I was
And
just
I
left.
think anything that you kiss someone, unless you're like off your face and don't remember,
Exactly.
that's a date.
Exactly. But I think it was something where it was lost in translation because she wasn't actually from the UK, so give her the benefit of doubt. But that is the one time where I have been on what I thought was
Well,
a date.
where's she from? That's not a date.
If I say it, the person's going to know.
Well, basically, you know, where
she's
she's from? She's from Bedrock. Basically,
yeah.
the person in
She's from a Flintstone-ish town where the cars are all ridden by a hole in the
everybody
bottom.
is barefoot.
There's people with clubs still.
Yes.
From a city where people don't know how things are normally
I
done
feel like she
anyway.
led you on a bit. I feel like that's harsh.
Yeah, I think that
And then
was
to
very...
out you in front of everyone.
But she didn't think it was
No,
completely...
yeah.
She just thought, oh, no, that was not a
really?
date. It was just like...
And here's
I'm not
why.
gonna say where that's
Here's
from.
why I feel like that hurts as well. So, as a guy, if I am into somebody to any kind of degree, and like I invite them out somewhere, I would like to think that they have looked at it as, oh, Kieran's invited me out. I really I like Kieran. And as a result of that, if they're thinking that, like, they would be sort of hoping that the thing that I've invited them out to go and do has the possibility of leading to a romantic sexual destination, i.e. being a date.
Yes.
Because they like me. Because they're interested in the possibility of exploring something further. Henceforth, when I invite them
Yes.
to do something, they're thinking, oh, hopefully there's more to this than just let's hang out as friends.
Yeah.
When somebody turns around and says, what? You saw this as a date? What they're kind of saying without saying is that, I don't look at you like that at all.
Yeah. That is what stings
yeah.
horribly.
Stab you in the heart.
Yeah, like even the idea, like I'm surprised.
Disgusts me.
Yeah, not even just it's just outside of my sphere. Like I couldn't possibly
on
look.
my radar.
Yeah.
And it's such a sting. I feel like there should be some kind of talk group, some kind of
Support group.
support group is the word I'm looking for. Some kind of support group to help brothers and sisters that have thought they were on a date and then later found out the person said, I wasn't a
Do you
date.
know what though? I'm going to admit something. I've never asked a guy out. So if a guy asks me out, I kind of take that as it's a date because he's asked. And most guys tend not to ask because they're looking for friendship. You know, with you guys, you're like asking a girl out and you're kind of hoping that she thinks it's more than friends, this, that, and the other. I've never asked someone out. Like, I never would. I'd never have
Yeah,
the
that's
confidence
about
to.
right. A
So I
girlfriend
feel like
wouldn't.
if a guy asks me, I kind of just assume it's a date because
Well.
I don't like guys tend not to ask, do they? To be friends.
No, yeah, a guy would never ask
Guys
a girl
don't go,
out.
do you want
go
to hang
some-
out so that we can be friends?
Yeah, no.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I do, but your general point is still right. The
Yeah,
vast
but
majority
then
of
you've been
guys
friends
don't.
for ages. Like, obviously, I have guy friends, but we've been
Yeah.
friends forever. But when a new guy comes along and he asks you out, it's normally...
Do you like this is another thing I've spoken about before, but like this happens a lot. Do you have guys that are friends, but they first started off because they tried to get with you, but now they're just in the friend zone really, and they're just waiting for an opportunity for you to either change your mind or have a different frame of heart.
Because I don't know if someone wonders if I'd have a change of heart or not. I tend to just hope that all
Could
my
guys
guy
do
friends
that?
are genuinely friends.
Yeah, guys.
Any
I
friend
do.
that you've got as
My
a guy
friend was,
now,
yeah, my guy friend, one of my guy friends was telling me about this. Apparently guys have like a list like a bucket list or whatever it is,
bucket list.
and you're on you're on it as a girl. If he's friends with you, you're on it somewhere. It just depends how far up or down. But at some point, you're on it.
Like
Whereas
a
girls
management.
have platonic friendships with guys, and apparently guys, any girls that they're friends with, at some point they would potentially shag them. It just depends.
You know what?
It
but that's
depends on the
I was like,
level
God,
of
that sounds-
hotness is what I'll do.
Really?
not even.
Yeah, see, I
For
don't know if I
me.
agreed with that. I was like, really? Would you really shag any girl that you're friends with?
Okay. So it's an interesting thing because, like, what I'm gonna say now is gonna make me seem like a hypocrite. Basically,
Okay.
I'm gonna sound like I'm talking out my ass. But I have female friends I wouldn't do anything with, but I am aware of the fact that most guys would.
Yeah.
So this
See,
is
I
it. Like,
like to think that all my guy friends
No,
are
it
genuine.
isn't. It isn't across the board because I too agree with what you're saying. I've got a load of like female friends and they're just good friends and they are attractive as well. But I'm just like, oh no, not for me because
Yeah.
I just know it wouldn't work or whatever. But there is the other, the latter, where
The latter.
guys have tried it
Yeah.
with that girl originally.
Yeah, I've had a
And then it
couple-
kind of ended in a friendship,
Yeah.
and they're kind of friends, and they will stay friends. They probably won't try anything, but given the opportunity, they would take it.
Well, I had a weird thing the other day. I had a guy, and to be fair, we had dated briefly, and I think sometimes that's where it comes from. If you've dated briefly and then you've called it off, and then you're friends, are you
Yeah.
ever really completely friends? And I mean, we had literally just established that we were going to be friends, and then a couple of days later, he just sends me a pic of him in his boxers, and I was like, slightly confused. I was like, we just agreed to be friends.
Was it late?
No, it was midday. That was
That's
the
even
weirdest
worse.
part. I know,
Midday.
how weird is that?
Is it
It's
possible-
not like, I was like, do you have a stash of these?
Yeah.
is it possible that he just like there's a really nice pair of boxers? He just thought
See, I wondered
No,
that.
he
What was
wanted
that?
you to like admire the craftsmanship. Or
No, I wondered that. I thought, oh no, maybe he's genuinely asking for my opinion.
Oh, they're nice.
yes,
But that's weird.
Spider-Man
isn't
boxers, like
It is a little
superhero.
bit-
it? No,
Weird.
they were like, kind of Calvin Klein type things. And it was like full on like body. It wasn't like these are my boxers. It was like full on like,
Oh, so you wanted to show off?
yeah, it was like full on body boxers.
Oh, you want to say, yeah, this is what you're missing kind of
Would
thing.
you
like,
send
check
that
this
to
out.
like a genuine friend?
No,
No, not unless
No.
you were like...
Unless-
give a good reason for it, like I've been working out.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and what do you think?
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da.
yeah, like
Because
if
you
I
would know what he looked like before, so
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this is what it is now.
I don't think we'd known each other well enough. We'd
For
been
him to
on
do
like
that.
a few dates. We'd literally kind of just thought, okay, let's be friends, and then he sent that.
With
literally,
nothing
like,
else, nothing, no words, just
No,
the
it was
picture.
just like Caroline ? Then the picture. He was like, "What do you think of my new boxers?" But maybe I'm reading into it. Maybe it was
No,
just
no,
but I was like, oh,
no,
so-
Girls do this on
there's
Instagram all the time. You'll be on Instagram and you'll see a girl and it'll be a picture of like, oh my god, some heels or some new heels that she got.
Yeah.
But in the picture, it's like her shiny legs going up to the short skirt.
Way more than you need.
Yeah, hot. Check out my ring, or it's just like cleavage all up in the shot, and they ain't talking about the ring. No one cares about the ring.
Yeah.
It's just an excuse for them to go,
Get all their bits out.
yeah, check me out.
Yeah.
So that looked like that. He was like, check out my boxes, but he just wanted you to look at his body and be like,
Yeah.
But to be fair,
But
I would
just
say
replied and I was just like average.
yeah, I don't
Brilliant.
think he even really expected you to look at the boxers. I think that's just something to say. Is
Yeah, he just-
clearly
yeah, yeah.
is just
like it's a bit
trying
tongue-in-cheek
to.
in a way with that one.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Now your
my story about being on a date that wasn't a date. This was just pure BS as well. It just like it annoyed me to the core. So basically, there's a girl I know, really pretty girl, hot girl, whatever. I said to her a couple of months ago, "Would you like to go for a drink?" She said to me, "I'm in Dubai at the minute. I'm going to be back in a couple of months. I'll message you when I'm back." I thought that was bullshit. I thought she wasn't interested. Whatever.
It was like a pie off.
Yeah.
Pie off.
Yeah. Then, like a month or two later, she messages me back and she goes, "Hey, I'm back in the UK. Would you like to go for that drink?"
Okay.
Fabulous. Then I also followed up with, "Just so we're clear, you do know why I'm inviting you for this drink, don't you?" She said, "Why is that?" I said, "Because I'm interested in you as a person and I'm attracted to you sexually."
All right. Wham bam.
Straight in there.
Text.
No messing about.
Text, right? That was via WhatsApp. Okay, I said that to her. She's like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah." So just so you know, I haven't invited you out for this drink so that we can be homies. Fine. Anyway, we talked some more for about a week or so, and then we eventually go on the date. Or at least as it was from my perspective. Anyway, we meet up. And it's kind of like what happened with you, whereby, like, the mood just wasn't what I wanted it to be. And I'm, like, trying to steer the conversation along. Not like to say to talk about sex, but I'm trying to, like, create...
See if we're
Yeah. And
So what's your bra size?
yeah.
basically,
Connecting.
yeah. Spit or swallow?
Spit's fine.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you perform the act first, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just spit for no reason.
But she's not giving me anything. And then after a while, I'm like, I stopped her. I say, like, what's going on? And she's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you're not really acting the way I'd expect you to act, given what we're doing. And she's like, what are we doing? And I'm like, we're on a date. She's like, really?
Oh,
I was like,
yeah, we had this discussion.
yeah. I was like, hold on, what are you talking about? She's like, we're just meeting up as friends. I said, what the flying fuck are you talking about? As a quote, right? I said to you quite categorically, I was clear. This wasn't that long ago. It was like 2 months or something like that. This is recent. I was quite clear about what I wanted. And anyway, she tried to play it off and stuff and blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, we were only ever going to be friends, Kieran. But then it turned out, because we did a bit of talking. This girl has a boyfriend. And there's a boy,
shit.
she has a boyfriend. And it's a boyfriend who she used to cheat on, like, quite savagely, like with real frequency. And she'd recently decided that she felt guilty about that. So,
But she thought she'd go on a date with you anyway.
no, like literally just afterwards. Like, so, like, she decides to go on a date with me thinking, hey, I like this guy, you know, he's another guy that I can cheat
change
on
your
my
heart.
man with, you know, a little bit. This is another thing she said to me. She goes, oh, I categorize the people in my life quite, I've got rigid categories for the
Yeah.
people in my life. I see you as being in the fun category. What the fuck does that mean? She said
That's
that.
like saying, I see you as a bit of, like, for a bit of sex, but I could never settle down with you.
Basically.
That's a hit. That's
I don't
horrible.
respect you, but I just want to have some fun.
Yeah.
Well, you know what though? It's like
You're not hobby material.
No.
yeah, but that's fine because I didn't want to marry her either. Like that was ideal for me.
I
Like,
tell you right to your face. Maybe say as a guy used to say that to a girl, it'd be even worse.
oh, to
See
say
you
what?
as a bit of fun.
Although, I would actually rather a guy just say that, because then at least you can make up your mind. What I hate was when guys try and pull the
Interesting.
wool over your eyes. So where they're
Yes.
like, oh, I'm such an honest, decent guy, and they go to, like, all this trouble to, like, persuade you that they're, like, a gentleman, and then they just actually just...
So if a guy sat down and he was like, I'm enjoying this evening, Caroline, but I'll be honest with you, I'm only in it for the short term. So we
Yeah.
can have a bit of sex, maybe some chicken, but there's going to be no relationship at the end of this.
Sex with chicken.
Sex with chicken.
Okay.
And Haagen-Dazs cookies and cream. Awesome.
Say.
No, but I would actually appreciate the honesty, because then I can decide if, you know,
If you kind of want to have a
sex
bit
with
of fun.
chicken and Haagen-Dazs appeals or not.
Yeah.
But then I can decide, if that's the route I want to go down or not. I just hate when guys try and, you know, kind of act like they're something and then they're not. Like that guy, I was telling the guys, I went on a first date recently, and this guy, you know, he took me for dinner, like laid it all on, blah, 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 and it was going really well, and I was like, you know, up here it's really good. And then he said, oh, do you want to come back to mine? And I was like, oh, for God's sake. I was like, no. And then he kissed me quite aggressively and then said, are you sure? And I was like, yeah.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cringe.
Yeah, I'm
That is
sure.
so
I'm
cringe.
just gonna go.
Like, that's going to change your
Yeah,
mind.
that's going to change your mind. Are you sure?
What about now?
You know what? You know what I'll say.
Still sure. So anyway, I was staying over at his. We'd been to a friend's birthday party. I was staying over at his for the first time. And I thought, because as a girl, or me anyway, I kind of know when I'm going to have sex with someone. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to have sex with him, but we're making out. I may as well, you know, cop a feel, see what's going on downstairs. And...
Subscribe now to find out what happens on all of the Black Man Problem episodes each week on Sunday. What happens when Caroline cops a feel? Are Black Man's cocks really that big? Find out next week on Black Man Problems.